Hi, Lisa Soland here again from Climbing Angel Publishing. And I have had the privilege of publishing some mighty fine books in the last few months, but I did want to mention also a couple that yours truly have written. God's Hands and Feet, which is illustrated by my nephew. It's a great little book about sacrificial love and giving. It's a great book for children. And The Boy and the Bagel Necklace, which is about a little boy who lived in an orphanage in Romania, and he gets adopted by a family and brought to America. And it's a great story about the importance of love, of course, and about ministry and how it cycles around. And when people love and minister to our needs, it's overflows, right, with that joy, and it makes you want to do that same thing for others. So thank you for joining us. I'm here today talking with Gayle Childress GREENE, children's book author, and this is her book, Because You Are Mine. I also wanted to mention Melanie Eubanks' Ella's Trip of a Lifetime, Joni Caldwell's I Like to Be Quiet. She's got another one in the making called I Like to Read. So you might want to pick up that one as well. Carly Samier Wheels Off. She's got another book coming out probably in the next 2 months called Trunks Up, which is about an encounter with an elephant. And it follows Hazel and Henry on yet another adventure. So it's a sequel to this book. So thanks for joining us. I am here, as I mentioned, with Gayle, and we're going to talk about writing in general. And this question, Gayle, has to do with our listening and watching audience here. What is the primary, people are looking for the secret, right? And I know what I would say, but they're looking for the secret. You know, what did Gayle do right? How did she get published? How did that, how is it that she's having success? She wrote a play, got produced, has had a couple of productions now, and now she's got this book out. What do you have to say to those writers out there that are struggling and frustrated?
Wow, that's a really good question.
They want to know, right?
Because I feel that writing any profession in the arts is difficult because we love it. We have a passion for it. And, it's hard to get your work out there to be seen. So a lot of times you do feel like you're maybe just doing this for yourself, and maybe you are. Maybe
it's a good place
that
to
is
begin.
your purpose to get that out. And then later in life, something happens and it just all clicks. Or maybe you have success as a really young person. I'm older, so I feel like just don't give up. If it's in your heart and if it's something you love to do, then it's a win-win, whether you ever get a book published or not. If you love to write,
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Yes. And I would pray about it too.
Yes.
Right? Pray about it and ask God to show you the avenue you should take.
Yes.
He's the greatest storyteller.
Absolutely. He's the author of all creativity.
And the #1 selling book.
Written, that's right.
Right? And put into more different languages than any other book.
Of all time.
Right.
So, and I do feel like a lot of my ideas, I'm sure you feel the same way, they come from him, because you want to be that conduit, when you feel that you are, that he's like speaking through you, through your heart, through your pen onto paper, it is
nothing like it.
It's like, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm doing what he wants me to do.
Yeah, it's like the Chariots of Fire in that screenplay, how the character says, when I run, I feel God's pleasure.
Yes.
So when you write,
yes,
you feel God's pleasure.
Yes. In a way, yes. You feel like you're experiencing an aspect of him and a relationship with him, that you're working with him. And, in our culture, you know, the arts have been stolen, you know, and we're still here, and God can use us if we let him.
Yes.
And in these days, it takes some courage.
It does take courage, I think. Yeah, because there's a lot of very talented people out there. So what is it? What is the difference between someone who starts to succeed, and also the word success,
Right.
you know, lends itself to many different definitions.
Yes.
But, you know, I think it's important that we try to be successful in the way that we imagine success to be. And for
Right.
me, it's not necessarily financial. It is creative success.
Yes,
There's
I
a
agree.
difference, isn't there?
And I think that that's even a higher goal, you know, because I think if you're doing something just to make money, or just to be famous, or just to, you know, to be noticed, or that is the
Right.
wrong motive.
Right.
So if you're doing it for those reasons, that's not necessarily going to bring you happiness anyway.
No, you might get all of that.
You might
but
get
you'll
fame.
go, this isn't really what it's cracked up to be.
Right.
But you know, I know some people that started out, artists that start out with really good intentions, and they really do love the art, and they're very puristic in the way they think. And then somewhere along the way, they're trying to pay their rent.
Yes, absolutely.
They're trying to
It's a job. It's a job.
Right.
And that's their job.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Right.
I went 6 years sleeping
Yeah.
on the floor. Wow. You know, in an apartment in Hollywood, you know, just trying to imagine. But I think God can guide you.
Yes. And use all of your experiences, you know, to create something else, a story, a play, you know. We just have to be available and will. And I think that that's one of the things that I'm very undisciplined as a writer. Like, I need to be better about just every day, this is my time to write.
Yeah.
I like to get my little to-do list done. I want to let the dogs out, start a load of laundry, have a cup of coffee, you know, make up the bed.
Yes,
and
but that's good to know about yourself.
Right.
And I don't know if that's going to change.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to learn to work with that.
Right. I like to have things kind of done so that they're not, you know, sitting on my shoulder saying, you need to go do that, you know.
Yes.
So, but then I also have to realize that, you know, the baseboards haven't been dusted in months. So if it's saying, go dust the baseboards, that's probably like, no, I don't have to do that. I really should sit down and
that
write
can
now.
wait. That's one thing that can wait. Yes, if you
things.
Notice, my dust boards are very dusty.
That's a sign of creativity.
Yes, and my nails.
Mine too.
Yeah. When my husband comes home from work, he can tell like which day I've had success with writing. He'll look at my nails. If my nails are done, he knows that was not a good day for me.
Yeah, any day that your nails get dirty with ink or dirt, it's good. It's a good day.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a good day. I find I have to let go of some of those things.
Yes.
I can't do everything.
No. And then you have to start saying, what is the most important thing for me to accomplish?
And what is the most important thing for you?
Wow. You know, it varies from day to day.
Yeah.
But I really do. I feel like I do have some stories now that I really want to tell. And I went through such a long dry spell, not really writing anything until the pandemic. And I started taking your workshops.
Yes.
That I feel like now it's just, I can't write fast enough. It's like, I need to get this one done because I've got this idea. And then I've got another idea that's over on that back burner.
Yeah. And you guys have to know about Gayle's other book coming out this fall called The Rat's Race. It is, I mean, when I think about that book, Gayle, and how you labored through it, you could have quit. You know, when I started talking with you about some ideas, she actually changed the perspective of who is telling the story and had to rewrite all the chapters accordingly.
Yes.
You know, there's things that come up for a writer, aren't they, that could very easily discourage someone. But what was it about you that saw your way through those rewrites?
Well, I think realizing that just because I wrote it down once or twice or 3 times, that doesn't mean that that's the way it's going to be.
Right. Yes.
And if there's a better way, you have to give your brain sometimes time to work those things out. And it was one of the other writers in the class that asked me a question about the story. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. How does he know that? And it made me think, what if?
Yeah.
And it took me back to the beginning of the story. And I changed the perspective, and it changed the whole story.
Yeah.
And it was all of a sudden, it was like, that's my story. That's it.
Yeah. And you knew it.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing too, that writers have to have that ability to know when they've landed on it.
That's it.
And,
Yes.
and once you have that feeling, there's really no stopping you, because now you've got the clarity that's needed
Mhm.
to boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And asking the question, what if? What if?
What if, it changes everything,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that any of the writing I did up until that point, when I had the what if moment, the aha, then it wasn't a waste of time, because it really made me realize, no, that's not right. This is right. And then I finished the book. And every week in the class, it was like, Gayle, how many more chapters do you think you have? It's like, oh, maybe one. And then the next week it'd be like, well, maybe two. And it just kept getting, but that was the
Right.
story.
Yes.
I was telling, and I didn't know.
Yeah. You're on a journey. You haven't arrived.
No.
It's a humbling thing, writing. That's why I play golf, because I'm bad at it, and it humbles me and prepares me for writing. It's a humbling thing. And you,
Yes.
and you have to know, you have to like be able to be pliable, movable, open to other ideas. You have to always question, is this the best way to tell the story?
Right. Right. And when it all came together, and I even got to where I knew that this was going to be the end of the book, but I wasn't quite sure how to do it. So I just put it away. I didn't write anything for a few days, and I thought lightly.
Yes. I say that often.
Lisa says that all the time. Just
think lightly on this idea.
Your brain will figure it out.
Yeah.
So as I would get an idea, like, oh, this could be the ending, and I would write that down on a sticky note and put that up. And I had probably 6 or 7 different endings that possible, but I didn't like any of them. And then one day,
there it was.
That's the ending.
There it was. You need time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do need to press, because you have the idea to write the book for years. If
7.
you're 7 years, if you're not pressing on it and being pushed,
Yes.
and encouraged by, some sort of a group, I think it's very important.
Definitely.
You can twiddle your thumbs and not write for 7 years, or longer. It could have been, you could have never written the book.
I know that I never would have written that book if I had not taken the workshops.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have.
It's too hard.
Well, you need the encouragement. And for me too, I need the accountability.
Yeah.
And your instruction, your wisdom. You're so good at getting to the heart of things, and like, you just nail it with everything you say about people's work.
Wow, good. Thank you.
And it just helped me so much.
Yeah. And you had people looking forward to reading, she would read like 2 or 3 chapters each workshop, and all of us would be looking forward to hearing what's going to happen next. And I think to know that there's people out there that are like you,
Yes.
over Zoom, and they're going to be, very important.
And that has been one of the most special things, I think, about the masterclass, and seeing the authors get their books published. It's like, I was a part of that. We all helped each other create our stories.
Yeah.
Either even by listening. You learn so much by reading your work aloud.
Yes.
To people that are, wanting the best for you, and helping you.
Yes. So while you were writing those 2 stories,
Mhm.
so not just Because You Are Mine, which is a children's book, and recommended for ages 1 to 5. She was also writing The Rat's Race. And while she was doing that, Carly was writing Wheels Off, Joni was writing I Like to Be Quiet, and Melanie was writing Ella's Trip of a Lifetime. And these are only half of what was written.
Right. There's more to come.
Oh, there's more. I can't keep up with you guys. Oh my gosh. Start a master's class and look what happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been very exciting for me to see you just, you know, beautiful flower, you know, it sounds so weird, but a beautiful flower just expressing, and it's not mandy-pandy. I mean, you are applying yourself, you're working hard, you're diligent, you don't let anything, you know, stop you from pursuing the story. You're willing to explore, you know, all those things, really good qualities for a writer to have. I hope you're picking up on some of this, because Gayle is a great example of a hardworking writer, but she's also pleasant, respectful, encouraging of others. I mean, so many, these are the types of people that I like to work with as a publisher, let alone as a teacher. And you've really got to pick up her book. This is about belonging. And belonging is, we're all learning, I think, during these times, the importance of family and love and belonging. And this story is not just for children, but for all of us. We're going to be having on June 25th in the Hub at West Park Baptist Church, we're going to be having, this will be actually the 4th Meet the Author events. And Melanie Eubank and Carly Sommier are going to be flying in from Texas and Arizona to be sharing their books with you and talking further about writing. But Gayle is going to be one of our writers that's highlighted, perhaps also on June 25th, but also with her book, The Rat's Race, in December at the same location. And all you have to do is Google on the internet, meet the author, you know, West Park Baptist Church or the Hub or Lisa Soland or Climbing Angel Publishing, and you'll find the information so that you too can attend live these events.
Yes.
And we're very excited. Climbing Angel Publishing couldn't be more excited for you, Gayle.
Oh, thank you.
And you're just a great, my prayer for you is that you go out there and that people are super receptive, because we need encouraging stories about love, real love.
Yes.
Especially our children, but you know, adults really are grown-up children. We're still inside our hearts. We need to be inspired too, don't we?
Absolutely.
I mean, without inspiration, you wouldn't have written those books.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. If I hadn't written it down, I wouldn't have remembered my inspiration. So write it down.
Yes.
Never be without a pad and a pen, because when those you don't control when those inspirations come.
That's right. Yeah.
They could be in the middle of the night. You know?
They could be in the middle of the night.
And then you're writing on your nightside table like this.
And then you wake up and you grab it and you go, what? What is this?
What did I mean? What did I mean by that?
Yeah, but that is one of the very best advices to give to a writer, is to always have a pen and paper, and don't assume you're going to remember, because you won't.
You think you will. I think I'll remember that. I'll remember it. And if I don't write it down, no, it's gone.
Write it down. Write it down. Please. Thank you. Please write it down, and thank you for your support. Climbing Angel Publishing could not exist without people like you, no longer accepting unacceptable stories that are not excellent, that do not pursue virtue, that are not lovely. We want to publish these things that inspire people to do great things. So if you're into things like that, if you're into stories, and if you have children, grandchildren, or if you yourself maybe people out there don't really want to read War and Peace, you know.
Right.
I don't.
Maybe they want to read The Rat's Race.
Yes, it's shorter and faster to read. You can read a chapter before you go to bed at night.
Yes.
And it won't keep you up.
It won't keep you awake.
So make sure you check out Gayle's book and also watch our other videos. Subscribe to Climbing Angel Publishing's YouTube channel and subscribe to Lisa Soland's. All of the videos that we make are to encourage writers to write, and also to encourage people, all different types of people, to pursue what is in their heart, that is a dream that could have enormous value on your fellow man. It's important to execute the idea of why you might even be here, right? You've got a purpose. You can make that dream come true. Pray about it and don't give up. Thank you for tuning in. Like us, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.